communism, whatever the case may be. She just basically has this thing to where she wants people, and this is my problem with a lot of our people. She has this thing, and this is the pretty much the philosophy of the left. They want to give us stuff. And in just my experience in life and just in over history, when people give you things that you think you need and that you don't want to go and earn or get on your own, then you become dependent upon those that give you said thing. And whatever that thing is, whether it be food stamps, money, WIC, drugs, whatever the case may be, whatever those people give you, you become not just dependent on that giving or that gift, you are also beholding to that group, party, or entity or person. And you are also a slave, if you will, to that group, entity, or person. And that is a very dangerous place that I don't think any respectable human being would ever want to be in. Don't put yourself in a position to where your basic life needs, your food, clothing, and your shelter is dependent upon another person. So how you make money or how you get money, how you eat, and how you provide shelter for yourself, you don't ever want those three basic things to survive to be literally in the hands of someone or some other entity like the government. Now, I know people say, well, you work a job and, you got to have a job in order to make money. Yeah, that's one thing, working a job, because if you work in a job, that means you have a skill. If you have a particular skill, that skill should be one, or you should have one that is what we would call a transferable skill, which means that your skill can go in other places and be utilized, right? So whether you are a construction worker, there are plenty of construction companies, there are plenty of construction jobs that will forever be needed in the world, right? If you are a plumber, there are things that will always break that are pipe related, and therefore your skill is transferable and can be used at any company, any place in the world. A plumber is always needed, right? If you are a manager or a supervisor or something like that, you have that executive management skill set, it's transferable. If you are just solely dependent on the government for how you eat every day, where you lay your head to rest, and the way that you are clothed, those are things where if the government is in control of that, if they give it to you, then you have to think, well, what happens when the government decides they don't want to give it to me anymore? Or resources get so limited, which is what happens with socialism and communism, which is pretty much synonymous, the same thing. When the resources aren't available for it to be given to me, then what happens? It's just like being a drug addict. If you are addicted to cocaine, you're addicted to heroin, you're addicted to crack. It's one thing when you're using that drug, but what happens if there's a drought? Drug dealer can't give you what he don't have, right? So that's why things like crime and stuff like that go on. What happens if the drug dealer doesn't want to serve you anymore, or the drug dealer increases his price? So now the dime bag you used to get is now dub, or the dub is now the price of a zip, of an ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce. So whatever the case may be, those things that can be changed and determined by either the government is very bad. And yes, things can sometimes get out of hand to a degree within the market for us capitalists, but the market tends to correct itself over time. those are the things that you're at play with when you're talking about, getting things from the government. And that's my problem with people who have this thing to where you feel, and especially us, we got this thing to where we feel that the government owes us something. And not to say that they don't, but it is very important to understand and know what it is you're taking from the government and why you're taking it. Are you taking this because they just giving you what they want you to have? Are you taking this because this is the thing that you asked and negotiated for? Or is it just table scraps that the government don't care about, but they're just giving it to you? Say, yeah, here you go. It's like the videos that they shown of hair salon, not hair salons, but hair beauty supply stores that have gone out of business or for some reason have lost their inventory due to some type of natural disaster or something like that. And what you see is the inventory or the product that they have in stock has to be thrown out. And just because they're throwing it out and it's in the trash, you'll see us in the trash dumpster diving for it. It's like those are scraps. The beauty supply store, they're getting reimbursed through insurance, so they're gonna fix that, or they're just going out of business and they don't care anymore. But they're not giving you something, they're literally throwing away something and letting you have it. That is a difference. So it's like when you're talking about things like Kamala Harris's plan to give people $25,000 for a house, right? Sounds good. But the reality of it is, number one, who's paying for it? Taxpayers. Number two, that up to $25,000 doesn't mean that you get $25,000. But number three, which is to me the most important one, what does $25,000 do for you in today's house buying market? Where does that $25,000 get you over the hump, get you through the process? And for those of us who have never bought a house before, you wouldn't understand it. But you hear 25K and you think, oh man, that sounds wonderful. Put it into actual reality and look to see, hey, if I was to buy a house at the average cost of a house, let's just say the average cost of a house, I think the median is maybe like $340,000 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look. I can look that up real quick. But if you take that, and when you look at most home loans ask for you to put down 10 to 20%. I think conventional loan, you got to put down 20. And then I think with like if you get your, what's that first time home loans, FHA loan, I think that one's like maybe 5% or something like that. But when you look at the average, average home median, home buyer median. Average, I might have spelled that all the way wrong. Average home cost. There we go. In America. This is America. There you go. Yep, damn. So in America, the average house value or the cost to buy a home, you're looking at about $330,000 to $360,000. So it says the median sales price, the average United States home value is, the value is up at $360,000, right? And let me just give you this about the market. So the average United home is $360,000. Now the average median sales price, what the house is actually selling for, that is $330,000. So if you look at $330,000, it says it's nearly 50% higher than what it was in 2019. So if you're looking at something like that, and when you hear those kinds of things, you talking about 10%, that's already damn near $35,000 or $30,000. So it's like those things aren't quick fixes and things that are gonna just give you what you think you need because you've never done it before. So it's like those are the kind of things that people have to like think through instead of just thinking like, oh, we're getting this. It sounds great. Sound like a lot of money and we can make something happen. That's not always the case. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into the show. Wait, what does that say? Okay. And who has this kind of time? You know what? I'm not even going to give you that.
I don't really understand why he keeps going back to this well of more and more and more tariffs.
Let me explain why. Let's take China. Let's take an example that every American understands, TikTok. Yep. Everybody knows TikTok. American people made a decision in Congress to ban it on midnight, Jan 19th. The supreme leader of China said, no, we're going to use your court systems to litigate the American people so that doesn't happen. I can't do that in China. The supreme leader would never let me do that. I can't protect my IP there. Chinese have been screwing my 45 businesses for 35 years. I like the idea of going to war with China with tariffs to change behavior.
But it didn't change behavior. All it did was hurt American companies.
Weak leadership that doesn't know how to implement.
This is the same leadership. It was Trump who launched the trade war with.
Then it was Clinton saying, let's democratize China, let's show them democracy, and they'll play fair in the WTO.
But to Catherine.
And here's my point. And you consistently hear this. This is a part of their playbook. That's why you're hearing it. Let me go ahead and say the truth and what it is. This is a part of the Democrat playbook. They want you to forget about the past 3.5 years. Like, literally, like, fuck all that. All of our problems, everything that is wrong today is because of what Trump did before these past 3.5 years. Everything. There is nothing that this administration currently today has done that is wrong. And everything that is wrong is Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump's economy. It's Donald Trump did this. It's Donald Trump did that. All of this shit that we're doing now, it is because of Donald Trump if it's something that's wrong. That is Kamala Harris's playbook. She can't speak of one thing, one policy. She can't answer one question without referencing this man. And that is bad. Because what that ultimately means is if every time I answer a question, I start out with what another person did, that means one of two things, if not both. I either don't have a plan and want you to focus on that, or I have a plan that is worse than what I'm speaking of now, and I don't want to say it. So I'm just going to tell you about what this other person did, and I'm going to tell you, I hope we can do better. That's my plan. That's exactly what she does. And it's like what that tells me, and just my own intuition of what I know about people and looking at the political landscape that we're in now. And I've said this about Chicago, and I was fucking right 1000%. When Lori Lightfoot left office in Chicago and everybody went and turned around and voted for Brandon Johnson, I said, let me tell you something, because you don't really know what he stands for. You don't really know who he is. You've heard nothing about this dude. They pulled him out of fucking nowhere, and now he's the candidate. I said, that means he's running somebody else's agenda, and he's running it at hyper speed. He's going to be worse. And that is the same thing about Kamala Harris. The reason why Kamala Harris can't talk about her shit, it's because what she's actually going to do, it's going to be worse. So that's why she's selling you things like, oh, we're not going to have a Biden economy. We're going to have an opportunity economy. Some shit that you can't see, you can't read, you can't touch, you can't actually go back and investigate. You can't do anything with an opportunity economy. That's just like somebody asked me, well, what is your plan for the economy, Brian? Well, my plan would be for us to have an everybody wins economy. Do you understand that? What the fuck does that mean? What does an opportunity economy mean? What are you going to actually do? Giving me an opportunity doesn't mean that it's an opportunity that's going to work for me. Hey, look. I'm gonna give all you lovely ladies out there an opportunity to suck my dick. You've been given opportunity. Does that work for everybody? No. And that's what people think, but we buy into that. How would you let somebody tell you, you know what? I'm going to give you an opportunity to work in my company. And you just say, okay. The next thing out your mouth is going to be, well, what are you going to give me an opportunity for a job for? You're not just going to let somebody tell you, you know, I'm going to give you an opportunity of a job in my company. Yeah, come see me on Monday. And then you get there and the opportunity is, well, you can stand here and put on this monkey suit and tell people to come into the store. I'm a fucking college graduate. I have a business degree. Why would I take that job? Well, it's an opportunity. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying for an opportunity economy. The other part of that too is the only thing that she specified, in all fairness, the only thing that she specified in her opportunity economy are only incentives for people who are starting new businesses. Oh, if you start a new business, you get 50 grand to write off. Oh, if you're a first-time home buyer, then you get up to 25 grand for your house. Oh, if you're a first-time parent and you're about to have a child, then we'll give you up to $6,000 child credit on your taxes. Okay, what about the rest of us who ain't first time fill in the blanks? What is that opportunity for us? And she does things that says like, oh, you can, just have ambition and desire and wanting to succeed, because I grew up in a middle-class family. And I had a second mother. And if you just want to believe and you want to strive to do better, the opportunity will be there for you. What tangible things does that present to me as a person who is not a first-time home buyer, who is not a first-time business owner, who is not a first-time parent? I'll wait. There's nothing. Because you know why? The plan for those people is to keep paying your taxes so you can pay for all this other shit. That's exactly what that means. And when somebody doesn't have a plan, somebody who's never had a plan, you do realize this person had less than 1% when she ran for president. Less than 1%. That means that this person has no plan that anybody would vote for, which means she's even more dangerous. Trust and believe me when I say this. She would be worse than Biden. Just saying.
It's time to raise tariffs to China to 400%.
Hang on a second. Trump already raised tariffs on China.
Not enough.
There have been many studies showing that U.S. companies and consumers are the ones who bore the cost.
Academic study. I'm doing real business in China. I'm actually doing business there.
Yeah.
And that is my point. That is my point. You're talking about somebody who's, the scholars have said and the economists have said, yeah, you're talking about those people that are at these universities. Yup. You're talking about these people that are sitting up behind these desks. Yup. Yeah, I hear you. I want to take that guy's word, though. Like he said, I'm actually doing business in China. I see how this shit is going every day. And what I'm telling you is that we need to increase these tariffs. That's how we win. It may not be that we win overnight, but this is how we win. Because anybody in business knows it's always chess and never checkers. I'm not trying to tell you, if I move right here, right now, I can jump this person. No, I'm telling you to move right here, right now, because 7 moves later, that move you made over here is going to save you. It's going to give you more leverage. It's going to put you in a better position to win. And if that means raising the tariffs up from 200% up to 400% to China, then why in the fuck would we not do that? Fuck China. Why would anyone want to make it easier for China? I don't understand that. Well, what's going to happen is goods and services are going to be forced to come back to America where they're going to have to raise prices to do that. They should, because that means Americans will be back at work. I would rather pay more money for a product that's being made here in America by Americans than to have to hope, wish, and pray that China don't raise their price, or if China don't make their product available, or if China decides to make their product less quality. Why would you put yourself in that position to where you're at another fucking country's mercy? But for somebody who's not invested in China, like this lady isn't, for somebody who doesn't do business in China, like this lady doesn't, all she's thinking about is being able to get her items that she normally order on Temu at the extra fucking 60% off, thinking she's getting such a fucking deal. Oh, it's 60% off. So it would have been $39, but I'm getting it for only $19. Yeah, but bitch, you don't realize the shit only costs $3 to make.
I'm actually working
American
there. There's no academics in my company.
Where do you think they buy their inputs from?
Let me explain something to you.
From China.
The Chinese steal my IP. They make the same product with the molds that I pay for there. They ship them into this country under a different brand. I don't like it anymore, and I've been trying to solve this for 30 years.
If you tariff everything from China.
Did you hear what he just said? I've been trying to solve this for 30 years. You're talking about someone who has been doing this for 30 years. That woman is probably maybe 33. And she's trying to tell his ass what's what. Unbelievable.
China.
There's no academic in my world.
You're going to be paying more for the stuff you buy.
And she has a great point. You're going to be paying more for the stuff you buy. Well, news alert. I'm sorry. We've been paying more for the stuff that we buy now. So what's your point? If we raise the tariff on China goods and China raises its prices, then, hey, we now have a choice. I'm not going to buy it. If LG is making televisions here in the United States, as opposed to making them in China, because if they make them in China, it's a 500% tariff. So now they decided, oh no, we make over here in USA. We open LG plant in Chicago. Then now I have Chicagoans at work. Because right now, if China decides to raise their price on their Samsung or Sony television, what happens? We pay more anyway. We pay more anyway. You look at the cost of a Lexus and what it was 10 years ago compared to what it is today, we pay more. So the whole idea of you're going to pay more for your goods that you get from China. No shit. We're paying more for the goods we get, period, because of inflation. So if a 400% tariff is going to employ more Americans and a 400% tariff is going to move and put more leverage on our side to get China in check overall, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And the other part too, you don't see all of our American shit over there, do you? Nope. Because they won't even allow it.
be paying more for the stuff you buy. They knew even in the 1600s that you should not tariff inputs.
Kevin,
let's just take a yoga mat.
Every American.
Put a 400% tariff on a yoga mat. We'll make it in Vietnam or make it in India or make it in America. We won't buy anything from China. And the Supreme Leader
be more expensive.
He'll come to New York.
It will be more expensive.
No.
Absolutely, it would be.
We won't buy it from there.
Right.
Hold on 1 second, because I get the
Why
back
are you
and
raising
forth,
the price?
but
He just said it. We won't buy it. It's like, what is this? How's that just like, it's like she's saying, oh no, we have to buy from China. No, the fuck we don't. We don't. Duh. Let's just say, for instance, the yoga mat that China sells us today is $20. Okay? That yoga mat that we buy for $20, if we put 400% tariff on it, it is now what? What would that be? $120 or $80, whatever it is. Now $100. Am I going to pay $100 for a yoga mat? Fuck no. However, if Tim and Tom's Yoga Emporium, $100, thank you, Julie. If Tim and Tom's Yoga Emporium is making a same quality yoga mat here in the US of A, and it's $24, fuck yeah, I'm going to buy that one. But now what happens is now China is stuck with the inventory of those yoga mats with a 400% tariff that nobody in their right goddamn mind is going to buy. You know what that's going to make China do? It's going to make them say, oh, so sorry. Let's negotiate. We don't want to do this anymore. 400%, way too much. Exactly. Why would you let somebody have that type of control when they don't give you that type of control? And that's what he's trying to make her understand. So what if those prices of what China charges us goes up? We need to make stuff here ourselves. Just like with the chips. The whole thing about the Taiwan and the chip factory. We should have never given up that type of leverage and power with as much importance that computer chips have in today's world. That shit should have been something we should have been making 30 years ago. Even if we only had one plant, we should have never been in a position to where if something happens to Taiwan, if Taiwan gets nuked tomorrow, we're all moved to Fuckville land because we've allowed something like that to be made only in one goddamn place. That's stupid.
But Kevin, you're having a different. This is always what happens when we talk about Trump and the economy. People come on here. Hang on. No. Just hang on. People come on the show, and then they.
And this is why I'm so disappointed in us as a people. Number one, and these people that go in and these celebrities that are on either these reporters that are on the news or these celebrities. They disregard all logic. This man has done more business than everybody in that goddamn room. And they have no respect for it. See, this is what we're talking about every time we talk about Trump. And the first thing I was like, this ain't got nothing to do with Trump. I'm not talking about Trump. I'm telling you how this shit goes over there, where none of you motherfuckers do business, and you're trying to tell me, no, that's not how it's going to go. Do you know how insulting that is? It's like telling somebody who is a war veteran, who was in combat, telling that person, no, that's not what happens on the battlefield. Well, have you served? No, I've never enlisted. But I've seen research. It's just like when Kamala Harris said, for the first time in U.S. history, we don't have any troops deployed anywhere in America. I mean, anywhere in the world. And you got the viral video of those soldiers, thank you for your service, God bless them, sitting there saying, not deployed. Then where the fuck are we? And it's like, she said that not because of just her ignorance, but she said it because she doesn't fathom or even understand the comprehension of being deployed, being a soldier, being in some type of public service from a law enforcement or military perspective, to where you really value those that do it because you know what they bring to the table. She's never been in that position. Never, ever been in that position. And look here, Sebastian Cisneros, you don't like what the fuck I'm doing and what the fuck I'm talking about, then you can go find this video on your own goddamn time and you can watch it your goddamn self. Other than that, shut the fuck up and get the fuck out my face. But these people are insane, coming over here to tell me what the fuck to do. But anyway, that's the difference. When you have somebody who's never done it, they're very cavalier and very nonchalant about what it is that has been done by others because they've never had to go through that.
Defend a different economic policy than the one that Trump is advocating. He says in the clip, what am I going to do? Negotiate with China or Mexico? He doesn't want to negotiate. He says you're not going to get anything from them. Okay, that's what he says. He does not want to negotiate. Also, the question I asked you is, where is the rest of the plan? Where is the rest of the economic plan?
Well, what?
Says the person who is supporting Kamala Harris and has not even come close to asking that. Has not even come close to asking that. But now you want the rest of the plan. How about this? The rest of the plan is 4 years ago when he was running the country, how well we was doing before the pandemic. How about that? Where I personally was making the most money I've ever made in my life and paying the fewest amount of taxes that I've ever paid in my life. How about that? Where gas was cheaper. Where cost of living was cheaper. That's the rest of the plan. I want that old thing back.
Why don't you just look at his track record for the last, the term that he had? No inflation, fantastic wage growth. I mean, look, he actually sat in the seat at the White House.
2020.
You may not like what he did.
President
you may not like
Trump
him,
was president in 2020.
But I don't remember 9% inflation when he was
I remember 18% unemployment. I mean, I remember...
What happened when that was going on?
Just a pandemic that he bungled.
And it's amazing how they love to say that. Now it's, he bungled the... he bungled the pandemic. Here's my thing. We fumbled the pandemic. The shutdowns and all of that shit, that was Congress. That wasn't, he signed it, and he was stupid for signing it. He would have been better off just not signing it at all, but there was nothing that he could do because of the pressure that came from Congress. They all wanted to print these trillions of dollars, which he said, we shouldn't do this, but they all wanted to do it because they all got paid. What did Nancy Pelosi and them say? You never waste a good old crisis. And they did it. And yes, he's partially responsible for it, but now it's so cute and so funny how they all say that was all his fault. He didn't want the shutdowns, they did.
Are you saying he created the virus?
No, but he absolutely made it worse.
How?
By lying about the risk, by telling people not to.
He lied about the risk? Are you serious? How about, what's that guy's name? Anthony fucking Fauci lied about the fucking risk. Oh, wear the mask. No, I don't wear the mask. Wear the mask. No, I don't wear the mask. Yeah, I wear the mask. Nah, don't wear the mask. Hey, you know what? The masks don't work anyway. Hey, we got to get the kids out of school. We got to get the kids out of school. Yeah, we got to shut down the schools. Hey, you know what? We should have never shut down the schools. Isn't it funny how nobody brings up Anthony Fauci now whenever they talk about this pandemic? The guy who everybody said, trust the science. He's the doctor. He's the Anthony Fauci. Yeah, I know he hasn't practiced medicine in 25 years, but that doesn't matter. He's still the doctor. We need to listen to Anthony Fauci and the CDC. That's all they preached. And then what happened when all this shit was over? Everybody from the fucking CDC literally retired and left. Everybody in the CDC, the upper echelon, the administrative, all of the executive staff, every last one of those fuckers resigned or they retired when this shit was over. I wonder why.
Get tested. Don't get tested.
You're saying he should have personally cured the virus as the president.
No, I'm saying he should
I
have
love
given his
that.
tests to Americans rather than to
She
food.
did not say that. I mean, but Scott, okay.
I mean,
all right.
Look at how she said
this idea that somehow because Trump was the president, that the virus has political proclivities and decided to prolong itself has been crazy to me since it's been
Let's
floated.
just
You
say,
don't think
though,
leadership
let's say on
mattered
the-
at
Due
all
to the
during
virus?
that?
No, I don't actually.
You don't?
I don't believe the virus
You don't think
listens
it
to
matters?
politicians.
You
No,
don't think
I
it
never have.
matters that Trump
I like that.
withheld various kinds of testing kits and PPE from states that were asking for it, and then he told them to go buy it
You
themselves,
still
and
think
then
you think that was the masks? Is that what you think?
and then he outbid them for it.
Hey, dude, this is so stupid. Even the CDC and Anthony Fauci came back and said the mask didn't work. So that didn't matter. The fucking ventilators were literally deathbeds. So that didn't matter. What other PPE equipment was just life-changing that people didn't get? Unbelievable. And she's just glossing right over it. Listen.
That were asking for it, and then he told them to go buy it themselves, and then
You think that was the masks? Is that what you think?
and then he outbid them for it, so they couldn't buy it. And then he sent it to Putin.
No, I was talking about virus.
I do want to get back to the
I
economic
mean, you are implicitly
question here,
by
because,
pretending it didn't
Scott,
happen.
Republicans keep saying that this election is about the economy. Now, I guess it's maybe also about immigration, but it is about the economy when you ask voters. And again, like, I'm wondering, what else is Trump planning on doing, and can he articulate it?
Well, to me, I think it's a great question, and it needs to be fleshed out. I think we should probably play the clip, though, of Harris from the Chicago Economic Club or do we not have it? Because she didn't show up to talk. So here's what I think. He's going to extend the tax cuts. He's going to rein in the federal government and the overburdensome regulatory state, which he can now do because of the Supreme Court. And he's going to take on these countries that screw American workers. That's the plan. And by the way,
And that right there is the problem that a lot of these people on the left have. And the reason why is because they're so invested in other countries getting our shit, essentially. That's why they don't want it. That's why the fucking military industrial complex, they don't want these wars to end. We're in 2 fucking wars with these assholes being in office. You think the military industrial complex wants that to end? No. That's my point. And those are the things that people don't realize. That's what the left ultimately, they don't want you to have shit, but what they want you to have. Case in point, do you all remember when Trump wanted to give all Americans for that stimulus check? He wanted to give them he wanted to give us all $2,500. You know what our Congress said? No. However, we can go and spend $20 million on Pakistan gender reassignment research. We can do that, but we're not giving Americans $2,500. We'll give them $600. That's what happened to us. Anything that has something to do with us benefiting as Americans, and it is not handed or rationed out to us by fucking Democrats, they don't want you to have it because it makes you independent of them. That's why they said the last one we got, the last stimulus check that we got, that $1,800, or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't $1,800. The $1,200 that we got, we had to pay that back in our taxes. Don't y'all remember that? But all of these illegal aliens who we've literally spent hundreds of billions of dollars on, providing them with cash, resources, living quarters, hotels, and everything. They don't have to pay any of that shit back. But I had to pay back my $1,200 that I got for a stimulus check for my earned income tax child credit. I had to pay that back. And y'all think that's okay? That's because you're just a fucking idiot. And I'm convinced of that. That's all that is. And your idiot is always willing to double down on stupid. If you think Joe Biden did this country a great service in the past 3 years, and you think Kamala Harris did this country a great service over the past 3 years, and you think she's gonna do even better now getting a promotion, you're a fucking idiot. And I get it. This is America. You can vote for who you want. But for those of you that are on the fence, you'd be stupid to do that. You'd be stupid to think that. Why would I believe that somebody who's already in power, been in power for over 3.5 years, their only excuse for everything that's fucked up is the guy that was there before them that they can't prove, have no factual data, but they just keep saying, oh, it was all their fault. Well, what the fuck you been doing for the past 3.5 years? It makes no sense to do that. Because, like this person just said, let's give her a chance. If we do, and she fucks us over, you know what those people are going to say who voted for her? They're going to say nothing, or they're going to say, well, at least it wasn't Trump. And that makes no sense. Those people that are not willing to earn and work for what it is that they get, those people who like to have their government dictate to them what they can and can't do, yes, I understand how you would like that. Those people who don't know how to earn for themselves and are jealous of those who actually have more than them because they worked their butt off or because their family set them up and made the right choices for them to benefit better in this life. Yes, those are the people that would vote for Harris because they want Harris to go and say, we're going to take money from the people who earned it and the people who got it, and we're going to give it to other people. That's called socialism, which is fine. I just don't want you to do it here in America where we like capitalism. If you want socialism, go somewhere else where they have it. Go to Venezuela. You can see how it's working out there. You don't have to stay here for it. Venezuela has a very good socialist economy going. Go over there and see how you live. You want communism? Go to Russia. It's simple. It's very simple. You're talking about a proven model that has not worked for fucking decades, centuries. It's proven to not work. It collapses very quickly. And y'all want to do it? Why? Because somebody's telling you it'll be better. Not showing you, they're telling you. I want you to dream, and I want you to have ambition, and I want you to feel good. And if you give me control of your lives and control of your money, I can give you that. And even when things are terrible, I'll tell you, it's gonna get better. That's where the work is. So give me your money. Give me your freedoms. Give me your guns. And then watch how I run your life and destroy everything you ever thought you could have.
He's going to crack down on immigration to the benefit of American workers.
He's going to deport 20 million people, the people who pick your crops, the people who process your meat, the people who, you know, care for your grandmother.
Yes. Like that is a bad thing. Like there's nobody else here to do that. I don't need 20 million people to pick crops. I don't need 20 million people to cut my meat. I don't need 20 million people to take care of my grandmother. And let me say this, and let me tell you one more thing. Any black person, that means any person of color, anybody who is a foundational black, what they call the FBA, any niggas out here, any of you all that are for immigrants, the illegals that are brought here, you are probably some of the most misinformed people on the planet. Because here's what the illegal aliens are doing. It's two things. Number one, it is eliminating the black vote. The black vote will mean nothing anymore. That age-old question of, what are you going to do to get the black vote? No one will ever have to ask that question again, because the 20 million illegal aliens that are coming here from this point and over the next 18 years, by the time those that have come here have had children and they have actually now procreated and their numbers almost double, they will be more than the 14% of the population that you are. So they estimate it's about 40 million blacks here. So if they let in 20-something odd million immigrants, and those 20 million immigrants, let's just say 10 million of them all have children. That's 30 million. Black folks ain't doing nothing but having abortions anyway, so our numbers are not even close to increasing. Haven't been for decades. So you know what that means? This new population increase, they're all going to outrule the black vote. Second part is too, how it will literally destroy our country. It's because if those 30 million people over the next 10, 20 years, if they all migrate and move to the swing states of the country, which is where a lot of them have been deported to, then they will then flip those swing states permanently blue, which means no matter who runs, because of the electoral college, they will always get the electoral votes to win, and we will forever have a Democratic president. How is that democracy? Just smoke that over. Yes, Kelly B made a great comment. Mind you also that those Americans and those immigrants and their children will be living off of the American taxpayers. So all of that, you want them to pick your groceries, you want them to pick your produce, I'm paying for them now. I want them to fuck up out of here. My tax dollars, billions of tax dollars, hundreds of billions of tax dollars have went over to fucking Ukraine, and then the other billions of dollars have all gone to the immigrants here who don't pay a goddamn dime in taxes. So you know who's doing it? Me. And you think we bring over 25 million people that we're paying for, and you mean to tell me you don't think our taxes are going to go up? Impossible. We're going to make the billionaires and corporations pay their fair share. Yeah, well, what happens when those billionaires and those millionaires lay off people?
The people who serve all sorts of critical functions in this country, yeah, he's going to deport a lot of people, and that's going to worsen the economy. In fact, there have been, I don't know, like a dozen different independent economic analyses from, again, independent economic analyses from Goldman Sachs, AEI, Brookings, Nomura, Peterson Institute, like all of them
I know your
find
argument. If you want to run on more illegal immigration as a Democrat, go ahead. I just don't think it's going to work in the election.
He wants to deport 20 million. I'm not done with his, I know what his economic policy is because he has talked about it. He doesn't understand how any of it would work, but he has talked about it. He wants 10% global tariffs, which would worsen inflation. He wants to deport 20 million people, which would worsen inflation and reduce growth. He wants.
How does it reduce growth? Our cities are literally overrun. You have people in, what is it, San Francisco? They actually have a poop app so that they can look to see where the shit is, where human beings are shitting in public so that they can avoid those areas. You know what that means? That means there are people that are walking around that see human shit and say, damn, let me put this one on the map. There's shit here on 8th Street. But you know what? I promise you, where she lives, no migrants there. I promise you, where she lives, no home invasions there. And that's what pisses me off. Because the one time they sent some fucking immigrants to Martha's Vineyard, every last one of them was gone in 24 hours. Gone. Oh, so they can live in my neighborhood, but they can't live in Martha's Vineyard. Well, how about that? Y'all too rich to have migrants, huh? Oh, okay. And she's talking about, they've done all of these different analyses, and it's going to make it worse. It's going to raise inflation. Well, how about inflation being raised before all these analyses? You're just wanting us to just ride this shit out? No fucking way. That's stupid to do that.
To politicize the Federal Reserve, which would worsen inflation. He wants to devalue the dollar, which would worsen inflation.
And after all that,
all of these things.
The American population wants that economy back. What do you say to that?
I say that we should be talking about what the policies are.
I should say what we should be talking about what the policies are. Everybody wants it back. We want that old thing back. Why? Because it worked. We were living better. Why would I just think about this? Why would I take a chance on something that is not proven, that has not happened before, and the current state of things in the direction that it's going has made things worse, when I could simply go back to what was and live better? Who the fuck wants to take a chance with their lives, how they feed their families, how they live day to day, their credit card debt, their grocery bill, their gas, their energy? Who wants to take a chance on that based on some fucking analysis? The analyses of all of these different economists? Oh, you mean people that just sit behind a fucking desk and not fucking actually doing business? Yeah, I want to take their word over the people who are actually fucking doing business. Yeah, okay, not me. Sorry. And this is why I do not like politicians. I prefer businessmen as far as running shit, period. Not just because of their leadership skills, but because they've been battle hardened. They've been out in the world. They know what it's like to win, and they know what it's like to lose. Just think about how stupid people are at the fact that people say, well, Donald Trump is filed for bankruptcy. That's just like saying the Chicago Bulls lost 10 games. Bitch, we won 72 with a ring. Just think about that. The people that try to make fun of Donald Trump, yeah, see, Donald Trump, he's filed for bankruptcy 3 times. Bitch, this dude just had a fucking analysis done of his one asset. One, Truth Social. 3.4 billion. Bitch, what do you say to that? So you tell me if I file bankruptcy, but then I turn around and come back and then create another business, and it's now worth, in 3 short years, it's now worth $3.4 billion. That's something to laugh at? Do you understand how stupid that is for somebody to think that that's like a point to make? And exactly, that's one of the main reasons why many career politicians don't want businessmen in office, because they see through the scam and the bullshit. And every last one of those fucking senators and those fucking congressmen that are with the bullshit, they are the ones that are terrified of a Donald Trump administration. Because now he knows who the pieces of shit are. He knows where all of the fucking snake pits are. And he knows how to come in and say, nope, we ain't doing that no more. The fact that he said, I would have Elon Musk, I would love to have Elon Musk to come in and do a financial analysis. Let's really see who's spending the money and where it's being spent. Oh no! That means somebody who actually knows business and can't be bought would be able to reveal and tell the truth. And that's the last thing that they want. So that's why they got women like her and women like this black woman here on TV talking against this man at all costs.
He's very good. It's all about messaging.
No, it's because we don't talk
Because
about
a lot of
it.
people don't understand, Kevin, what tariffs are. They see it as this great punishment to China that we're going to do. He says he's going to raise it up. He said today 2,000% tariffs on China. But here's the thing. It punishes the American importer. The Chinese are paid. Once you pay for those molds, the Chinese have put that money in their pocket, and then you are charged for the tariffs when you're bringing your molds in. So, and then, hold on, and just one other point that he said.
Moving back to
They didn't.
But one other point.
They did
One
not.
other point.
They did not
One
do
other
that.
point is he says that.
And that's the thing. Those companies that don't move back, fuck them. There's somebody else who can start that company right here. That's my point. Let's just say, for instance, if we put a tariff on Taiwan. So let's just say if we had to put if China took over Taiwan, now we're going to put a tariff on all the computer chips in Taiwan. We put a 2,000% tariff on it, right? So China's not going to come here and build those chips. You know what that forces us to do? It forces us to build them ourselves. I don't like being dependent on anyone else but us. And all of the politicians and the people who don't understand real business, they are the ones that like to put that responsibility on others. I would rather deal with growing food myself than to actually have to hope and pray that China grows enough food for me and send it over here. We need to fix that problem for us. You don't give that kind of control to some other country, period.
that's going to incentivize people to come back. That's pie in the sky. If I give 2,000% tariffs on China, it's going to force all these people to come back. No, I'm for American jobs.
Do you know what?
And
Do you know what?
that's
Do you know what
why I
jobs
support.
Americans
That's
work
why
in?
I support Kamala Harris, and I supported President.
Do you know what jobs
Biden
Americans
because
work in?
they brought manufacturing back when President Trump didn't. The tariffs that he's talking about is not going to incentivize anybody else to go, oh my goodness, I'm not going to want to pay those tariffs, so I'm going to build this plant here in America.
Actually agree.
Hold on. Let me give you an example of that. And yes, to Wendell Pierce's point, some won't, but some will. Do you know that there's a Toyota plant here in Texas? That means they build Toyota and Lexus here in America. So they don't have to pay the tariffs for the ones they build over in China. So no, will China move every Toyota plant here to America? No. But if they want to avoid a 2,000% tariff, maybe they move half their production here, 25% of their production here, more of their production coming here, and you tell them, don't you fucking raise the price. Because when you got somebody like China making $897 billion off of us, to say, you know what? Y'all ain't gonna make $857 billion off of us every year no more. We need about $300 billion of that back, and y'all better put it back and put it back now. That's the difference. That's the tariff game that we need to be playing, as opposed to hoping and wishing and praying that they just do us right while we're here now. That's stupid. And if we got to be in a little bit of a war with them where they try to hold out, fine. We need to buy more American then. Do you realize over in fucking Germany, there's no fucking Chevrolet? There's no fucking Fords? There's no Chrysler? And y'all are okay with that? Meanwhile, that nigga over here driving a Benz, buying a Benz? That makes no sense.
It's not because
with our European allies, but not with China, because unfortunately I live in the real world and not all of you are doing business. China, like I am, they cheat, they steal, they don't play by the level
I don't think
playing field.
that
Do you hear how they're like defending China almost? He's telling you what they're doing. And you all are like, fuck that, that's not true. I'm actually doing business in China. They cheat, they steal, and I've been doing this shit for over 30 years dealing with these motherfuckers. Yes, we need to figure out a way to rein their asses in. Not a thing of saying I can't do business over there, but it is extremely difficult doing business over there because of the fucking games they're playing.
Are you
doing
going
business
to
there.
invest in a
But
business
yet you're
that
doing
makes
business there.
nails? Are you going to invest in a business that makes all of the low value inputs that we buy
I'm a
from
lowly
China?
businessman
No, because
investing.
they don't have any value add.
Do you agree with the Biden tariffs on China?
No.
So
I've been very critical
So
of
since
those.
Harris is running on that, how do you view the difference between their postures?
I think her tariffs, which are in fact a continuation of Biden tariffs, are dumb ideas. I think that.
Let me tell you something, just flat out. And this is just the truth. And anybody, I mean, you can want to dispute this if you want, but let me tell you the truth. This woman here can't tell me shit about the economy. I don't know her from a can of paint, but just by the way that she's talking, this bitch is the kind of person that will actually tell you to do some shit, and then when the shit goes wrong, won't know what the fuck to do. She's one of those motherfuckers that when you say everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth, When she gets punched in the mouth, she don't know what the fuck to do. That's my point. Why would we listen to her over Kevin O'Leary? Why would we listen to Wendell Pierce over Kevin O'Leary? I'm going to take a chance with the businessman that say, hey, man, this is what we need to do versus the fucking actor and the fucking, I don't know who the fuck she is, lady, telling me that we shouldn't. If you're in war, are you going to listen to the soldier who's on the fucking front line? Or are you going to listen to the fucking activist that's protesting the war? When you're trying to win. Shout out to my man Billy Go Gruff. Thank you, brother. And shout out to Billy Go for hitting that donation, man. I appreciate you, Doc. Thank you, sir. It's like that makes no sense. I'm not gonna listen to a person who teaches boxing and is not a boxer versus an actual fucking boxer. If there is a athletic sports director at the #1 boxing school in America, I will not listen to that person, whoever he or she may be. I'm not going to listen to that person over fucking Floyd Mayweather. Because at the end of the day, Floyd do this. He's done this at the highest level. I'm not gonna not listen to Floyd Mayweather. I'm not gonna not listen to Sugar Shane Mosley. I am not gonna not listen to Muhammad Ali. It makes no sense. What businesses does this woman have? What is her net worth? And she's telling us about the economy? Come on, man.
We have lots of evidence showing that Americans pay those.
It makes no sense. We have a lot of money that says Americans pay those. That's what the statistics say. Statistics say that the fucking New York Yankees should win the fucking World Series. Ain't looking that way after the night, is it? Because at the end of the day, the statistics could say something, but what's actually happening is them goddamn Dodgers are plapping that ball at the park, and their pitching is fucking phenomenal. What the statistics may say and what's actually happening are two different things. What those economists may say and what Donald Trump is telling you, I'm going to talk to the motherfucker that's making these decisions, and I'm going to tell him what the fuck time it is, and I did it before, and I'll do it again. I'm going to go with that guy. I'm going to go with the guy who's actually going to call and tell Xi Jinping, look here, man, the shit is over. The jig is up. Start kicking back some of this bread, or we're going to have all kind of problems. You go over to Taiwan, and we're going to send this motherfucker up. Not what the statistics say. I need a motherfucker that's going to call Putin ass and be like, hey, man, look, I'm going to let you have this. Hey, Zelensky, I'm going to let you have that, and this shit is over. Unless y'all want me to get involved and drop some bombs over Baghdad on your ass. Y'all want to do that? No. All right, then, this shit is squashed. I want that guy in office. You can talk those numbers and all that shit, but it's the guy who can go and look that other man in the face and be serious and be on purpose and tell them what's really going to happen that I want in office. Not some cackling bitch that don't even know that she got the troops deployed all over this motherfucker. Not some cackling bitch that cooks her fucking, that washes her greens in the bathtub. I don't want that running my country and making decisions that can change the fucking world as we know it. That matters. You getting somebody out of a fucking college who is fucking graduated at the highest business school in America, and you dealing with somebody like fucking Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, two fuckers who didn't graduate from fucking college. I'm gonna listen to them before I listen to the fucking bookworm that got a fucking piece of paper on the wall that says he can do. I'm gonna listen to the people who actually have done, currently doing, and will continue to be successful in what they do and what they're doing. I want to listen to those guys. This makes no sense that we entertain people like her and we entertain people like these fucking pundits and these fucking celebrities who don't know shit about shit. Meanwhile, we got fucking real live fucking expert, experienced people telling us what we need to do. And those people are the people we're gonna argue with? Are you kidding me? Thank you so much, Kelly B. I appreciate you. Hit your boy with the $50. That's what's up. Gotta give you something for that. Get a home or something. But it's like we have to get beyond that part before we can grow, because that's the kind of stupidity that will end you. That's like me not taking advice from Lawrence Taylor and I'm a fucking linebacker. That's like me not taking advice from Michael Jordan and I'm a basketball player. Do you realize how successful Kobe Bryant was? Just because he mimicked everything Michael was and still strive to be more than that. Do you realize how much success Kobe Bryant had mimicking Michael Jordan? Because at that time, Michael Jordan was the best to ever do it, the best who had ever done it, and he was literally the most dominant player we have ever seen. And Kobe had much success mimicking just that one man. Success is duplicated. So to the person who put in to the chat earlier saying, hey, why don't we just give her a chance? I don't have time to give somebody a chance with my fucking life. I want the person who's duplicating success to give that person the opportunity again to continue to duplicate that success. She doesn't know how to do it. Mr. Maxwell said, experience speaks a little louder than education. Always. It's a proven fact. That's why you need to make sure you listen to those who have experience. Because somebody who's reading a fucking manual and reading a book, you gotta know when to change, when to go off script. That's what experience is. Do you know how many times I have followed a GPS and realized, oh, wait, that doesn't look right. Let me stop and go another way. You know why? Because the GPS is wrong. It's not unheard of. How many times have you followed a GPS and it sent your ass around in the same fucking loop? Because the map wasn't updated. And you know why the map wasn't updated? Because some asshole who was sitting behind a desk versus the person who's actually out in the fucking field who knows, I don't know what they told y'all, but this road don't go past this lake. That's the difference. So what the fuck? Do you just drive into the lake because that's what the GPS is telling you? No, you turn around and you go a different route and you get off the GPS and you rely on your experience and your instinct, or you're going to be what? Forever lost. One of the best things my daddy ever taught me was how to read a real road atlas. You know why you read road atlases? Because those road atlases are made by motherfuckers who actually went out and fucking mapped the road. You think? Wasn't some asshole sitting behind a computer looking at Google footage every day, slamming fucking Red Bulls, eating fucking Cheetos, making the map that you're gonna follow. No, an atlas was made by an actual fucking wayfinder, goddammit, like in Moana. You look at Moana, motherfucking a wayfinder wasn't a motherfucker that went to school. A wayfinder was a motherfucker that went out into the waters, went out on the boat and learned the way so that they could find their way. Ooh, that's new right there. That's why I tell people about one of the reasons why I can articulate myself when it comes to law enforcement. Aside from the fact of me putting the jersey on and doing it myself, I had a father who had fucking 30 years experience of it. I had a brother who had like about 10, 15 years experience of it. About 10. I had uncles who had 30 years experience of it. So based on their experience and their knowledge that they were able to transfer over to me, it made me be able to be better at that thing because I had more knowledge based on experience instead of me, well, in the book under section 625, it says to say good morning to the person as opposed to, hey, what's going on, guys? Because you walk up the wrong way and you say the wrong thing, that could mean the worst situation possible for you or someone else that's working with you. We have got to stop listening to these people that haven't done it and start listening to the ones who actually have done it, because that matters. Experience means more than education. That's just the way of the world. That's the way of life. Wisdom, facts, things that don't change that we know, those things matter. It is wisdom that says socialism doesn't work because over the decades and centuries of the world, it has never worked. So no, I don't want to turn my country that I live in now into a socialist experiment because you feel it should work. You think it might work. The analyses states that it may work. Yeah, well, go ask Venezuela. Actually, step outside your door and go find one of them Venezuelan immigrants and ask them if the shit works. That's why their ass is here now. I want to thank everybody for tuning into the show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I hope that this video helps somebody become a better version of themselves. Please click the like button. Please click the share and subscribe, especially over on Rumble. If you're watching this on YouTube, whatever, please go over to my Rumble and sign up. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every last one of you. I love y'all. Till next time, peace, and I'm out.